The security guard didn't even look me in the eye. Catering staff this way. Ma'am. He pointed toward the service corridor like it was muscle memory. No clipboard check. No questions. No hesitation. Just that tone people use when they've already decided who you are. I stood still, rain still drying on the hem of my $7,500 Valentino gown. A dress stitched by hand in Milan. One I'd bought not for this event, but for myself. A gift to the woman who once slept 3 to a room in a 5th-floor walk-up in Queens, who ate ramen and bananas because she couldn't afford anything else while building the first of 17 luxury hotels under the Lennox brand. I own the Grand Meridian Hotel. Not just the building. The company, Lennox Hospitality Group. My name is etched on every legal document tied to this place, from the elevator permits to the champagne contracts. But none of that mattered to him. It didn't matter to Belle Harrington either, my son's fiancée. I was invited. Yes, technically, one invitation, plus one guest, if I absolutely needed to bring someone. But the subtext was clear. They'd planned this engagement brunch without me in mind. The guest list was curated, the seating chart closed, the photographer briefed. I was, at best, a footnote. At worst, an inconvenience they couldn't fully erase. Still, I smiled. I nodded at the guard and walked past him, not toward the service corridor, but through the front lobby, the space I had personally redesigned last year. Belle wanted the penthouse ballroom for the party. Fine, it's a lovely space. I had approved the $4.2 million renovation myself. I entered quietly, avoiding the dramatic grand entrance. The room was bathed in soft gold light, with massive white floral centerpieces perched atop crystal pedestals. The kind of setting where you're supposed to feel expensive just by standing in it. Belle's mother, Melanie Harrington, was already in the center of the room, her voice syrupy and high as she greeted guests with air kisses. Charles Harrington was nursing a glass of scotch, probably older than the waiter serving it. And there was Belle, regal, radiant. Rehearsed. Her eyes slid past me twice before recognition clicked. "Oh," she said, as if surprised I'd shown up. "Regina, no soon-to-be mother-in-law. No warmth, just Regina, like I was someone's dry cleaner showing up on the wrong day. You look elegant," she offered with the kind of smile that turns down at the ends. "We weren't sure you'd make it." "I wouldn't miss it," I said, keeping my tone light. "Where should I sit?" She hesitated. Her eyes darted to the table map behind her, the one I could tell had been printed without my name. "We've put you near the kitchen," she said, "just for convenience. It's a bit tight with all the VIPs. Hope you don't mind." "Of course," I smiled, walked across the marble floor in heels that cost more than her monthly rent, and took my place beside a potted plant and the swing door where servers disappeared with empty plates. A lovely spot, really. Perfect for watching waitstaff trip over their trays and being out of frame in every family photo. I didn't argue. I simply sat, legs crossed, spine straight, and let the discomfort roll off me like water off silk. Let them think I was small. Let them think I didn't belong. The thing about being underestimated? It gives you all the room you need to move. I pulled out my phone and sent a simple message to Elise Tran, my director of operations. "Call me in 10. And prep the penthouse contract. Time to remind some people who owns this castle." There's a photo I keep in my office, me at 19, standing in front of a burnt orange tenement building in Queens. I'm holding a mop, smiling like I already knew what was coming. My mother took it. Back then, we shared a 2-bedroom with my aunt and her 3 kids. 6 of us, 1 bathroom. I studied at night while scrubbing motel floors by day. No trust fund, no shortcuts. Just bleach and bruised knuckles and a stubborn belief that I didn't belong in the background forever. Belle's family doesn't know that photo exists. They've never asked. To them, I've always been just Daniel's mother, a little rough around the edges, maybe, too busy to show up to garden luncheons or book club teas. Not their kind of people. When Daniel first brought Belle to meet me, I knew within seconds. She didn't look at me, she assessed me, noted my watch not flashy, my nails bare, the way I made my own espresso instead of offering a maid. Her smile had an edge, polite, but defensive, like she needed to assert something before I had the chance to. I asked her about herself. She told me where she studied, where she skied, where she spent her summers. She didn't ask me anything. Not how I built Lennox from a single derelict motel in Baltimore. Not how I negotiated our first overseas expansion deal with nothing but a flip phone and a 5-slide pitch deck. Not how I raised Daniel while working 80-hour weeks, sometimes missing his school plays, but never a mortgage payment. She didn't ask because she didn't care, and her parents were worse. At the first formal dinner, Meline said, "It must be nice to work in hospitality. So dynamic." Charles nodded like he was humoring someone in a costume. I said nothing. Daniel noticed. I saw it in the way his hand brushed mine when the wine was poured. A silent apology. But he didn't say anything either. He loved her. He wanted this to work. So I let it go. For him, but love shouldn't cost your dignity. The week before the engagement brunch, Belle sent me a digital invite with a line that read, "Formal attire. Chic elegance encouraged. Please keep accessories modest. Double quotes modest. From a woman wearing a necklace worth less than my shoes. It wasn't an oversight, it was a warning. Don't outshine us. Don't disrupt the aesthetic." I'd been disinvited in soft focus, and yet, I showed up. I always show up, because I didn't build an empire just to let a woman who's never worked a day in her life decide whether or not I get a seat at the table my money paid for. So I sat through her brunch. I let the cameras miss me. I listened to her speech about building a legacy while sipping coffee from a cup I helped design 10 years ago. Then, just before dessert, Elise's name lit up my screen. I stepped away, took the call on the penthouse balcony, the skyline stretching behind me like applause waiting to happen. "All documents updated and ready," Elise said. "Just say the word." I looked down at the ballroom. Belle was posing with her parents for photos in front of the Lennox monogram. "Good," I said. "We'll let them finish their mimosas." They say you can tell everything about a person by how they treat someone they think they don't need. Belle thought she didn't need me. That much was obvious from the moment she placed me near the swinging kitchen doors again, this time under the guise of elegance flow, as if the presence of the woman funding the brunch might somehow imbalance the floral symmetry. "You understand, Regina," Jeed whispered, placing a gentle hand on my wrist. "It's just, my parents have a certain vision." Of course they do. The Harringtons built their life on vision, an exclusive one that left no room for stories like mine. They were born inside the gates I had to dig under just to get a foot in, but I said nothing. I simply nodded. Let her think she'd won. Let her feel that fleeting sense of superiority, the kind that clouds common sense and turns entitlement into self-sabotage. Dessert arrived, a white chocolate mousse dome with edible pearls and a pipette of raspberry reduction, the kind of dish designed to be photographed more than eaten. Daniel sat beside Belle at the head table, smiling, laughing on cue, but I could see it, the tension in his shoulders, the slight distance, and how his hand never really touched hers. He glanced toward me once, his eyes apologetic. He didn't know. Not yet. Then Belle stood to give a toast. She tapped her glass, and the room hushed. "I just want to say how grateful I am for this moment," she said, her voice saccharine. "Surrounded by the people who matter most." She paused, locking eyes with her mother, then her father. Not once did she glance toward my table. Her smile tightened. "And of course, the Grand Meridian has been such a perfect venue. We're even considering the penthouse for the wedding." Polite applause. She beamed. "I mean, it's such a lovely space, clean, modern, not too flashy. It's almost like we discovered it ourselves." A few guests chuckled. Belle raised her glass. "To new beginnings, to revelations," I murmured, sipping my champagne. As the crowd settled, I rose from my chair and quietly exited. No one stopped me. They didn't notice the hotel director greet me outside the ballroom doors. Didn't see me lead her up to the penthouse suite. The real suite, not the one Belle planned to book. By the time the Harringtons arrived, summoned by a scheduling error, the staff was in place. The lights were adjusted, the monogram removed, champagne poured. I stood at the center of the room, not as a guest, not as Daniel's mother, but as the woman they had tried to hide. "Regina," Meline said, confused. "What's going on?" I smiled gently. "Welcome to my home." Their eyes darted to the hotel manager, to the staff standing respectfully nearby, to the discreet plaque on the wall that read, "Lennox Hospitality Group, Penthouse Founders Suite." "My name is Regina Lennox," I said. "I own this building, and 17 others. including the one you just insulted with your daughter's toast. Belle paled. Charles blinked like someone had unplugged him. I stepped closer. I allowed the event to continue because Daniel deserves joy. But if you ever seat me by the kitchen again, or exclude my family from anything that concerns him, this entire tower will be booked for renovations. For the next 5 years, the silence was thick and perfect. Then Daniel entered. Mom? He asked. I turned, my voice calm. Ask Belle where she seated me. He did, and her silence was the answer.